NIWA is Nigerian Inland Waterways Authority. They control every activity in the inland waterways. As long as the water body starts from one state and goes outside that state, it's under the territory of NIWA. But if there's a water body that starts from a particular state and ends within that state, that is within the jurisdiction of the states. NIWA actually covers quite a vast expanse of land within the country and water within the country.
The Nigerian inland waterways are pivotal to the blue economy. A national asset on the exclusive legislative list, the waterways enable transportation, trade, and development. The National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, an agency of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, superintends over the inland waters. Chief Dr. George Moghalu, the 7th Managing Director of NIWA, was appointed on the 29th of September 2019.
When God provides you an opportunity like this, you have to do everything you can to justify the confidence. Because by the time you do very well, you have appreciated God. And then again, you also have to justify the confidence of the instruments God used to put in place. But they are proving authority that's sent to you. And again, you have to justify the confidence of your family because they have quite a lot at stake.
With 28 of the 36 states and the 5 neighboring countries, Benin Republic, Equatorial Guinea, Chad, Cameroon, and Niger, accessible by water, the federal government relies on NIWA for the provision of ways and means on Nigerian waters for Nigerians in line with global best practice. Tasked with the effective management and sustainable development of the 10,000 kilometers of inland waters, rivers, tributaries, and distributaries, the regulation and enforcement of codes and protocols for all operations on Nigerian waters fell on the shoulders of the Managing Director and his team.
Taking the administration of Chief George Moghalu as the Managing Director of NIWA from 2019 that he came on board, he has improved on safety and security by means of advocacy, training and retraining of the officers in NIWA and also the stakeholders. He has beefed up the capacity of the staff, and the staff on their own now within the area offices are able to organize sensitization talks to the stakeholders in the communities where they operate, and also train the operators of boats and ferries in those locations.
Chief Dr. George Moghalu hit the ground running, fusing administration and professionalism with zest and innovation that has revitalized operations of the agency and renewed the hope of operators.
When I came into office, I set up an agenda that our boats, the boat yards, must be identified, standardized, and supported. And we started that. And one way we did it was to encourage them by making sure that our boats almost all our boats are locally fabricated. We have done houseboat locally in Nigeria. We've done tugboats. We've done patrol boats. We've done barges. We have done pontoons, all in Nigeria.
NIWA within the last 4 years has conscientiously built up Nigeria's capacity to provide safe, seamless, and affordable inland water services. relying strongly on the unflinching support of the federal government first, through the then supervising Ministry of Transportation, and in recent times through the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. The agency has given inland water operations an infrastructural lift, provided support to the logistics supply chain subsector, and amenities for Nigerians.
Nigeria is actually blessed with over 10,000 kilometers navigable waterways crisscrossing about 28 states out of 36 states of the Federation, with tributaries and distributaries, creeks, lakes, and lagoons. It's a natural blessing from God. And with the emergence of the new Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, certainly the thinking and the program of George Mugalu will certainly be in line with the dream of the government, and certainly we will achieve that.
From the development of a 5-year plan to the resuscitation of moribund projects to initiation of brand new ones, seeking approvals and applying due process, establishing and regularizing legal frameworks that allow for safe navigation, and the prosecution of unauthorized and/or unscrupulous operators, to scaling up staff's competence and expertise, Chief Dr. George Mugalu has recorded milestone achievements.
There are areas where people are defiant. We don't take it kindly with them. Apart from sending our police there for enforcement, sending marshals there, we are very hard on them by way of making sure, for example, if we see a rickety boat, not only would we impound it, we would destroy it. Because if you impound it and release it and the person pays fine, the next day they will send it back to water. So when we impound such vessels, we destroy them to make sure that it doesn't come back to water. Apart from the fact that you will still pay fine, and if the offense is such that within the transport code that is such that you'll be taken to court and sent to prison, we'll make sure we ensure it happens. Because if you are not that hard, people will take you for granted. So we don't want to be taken for granted, because we are talking about loss of human lives and property. And that is just like seeing a boat operator that is not licensed. Oh, we are usually very hard on them. We don't take it kindly with you.
Any boats where they carry rice come, they follow the boat down to where they park. If they come again, they will look how the boat will be. If they drop the load, they finish, they will still follow them again, be asking them, what is your problem, what is your problem? And sometimes when they come, if they overload, you see NIWA will start with them. Why do you carry more than this load inside your boat? From there again, when they see them again, you know from there, they will start. If they want to arrest them sometime, they will arrest them.
The staggering leap in revenue generated by the agency by over 10 billion naira has drawn attention to NIWA as a self-sustaining organization.
You know, when Chief Dr. George Mugalu assumed duties in National Inland Waterways Authority, Doctor has this drive of improving wherever he is. And immediately he comes on board. He looked at our revenue portfolio. We were on barely 2 billion. He looked at it and said it's not acceptable. Looking at the antecedents of Chief Dr. George Mugalu, you know, when he came in, put that touch into the public service, you know, introduction of the payment system, introduction of, you know, computerization of all the systems on what we do. So those things, you know, add up together to give us the kind of revenue we are seeing now.
Collaboration with public and private organizations on the digitalization of the agency's processes, infrastructural development, as well as the training of staff has strengthened the inland waterway system as an alternative mode of transportation for the evacuation of goods and services.
Our intention in inland waterways is to move all the load on the road to the water. We all ply the roads in Nigeria today. We have seen how bad the roads are. And sometimes, in a layman language too, I don't blame the engineers on the road. It's just that the capacity of load carried on the road is much more higher than capacity in water. Our intention for this development of the inland waterway is to make sure that human and cargo transportation had in a more reasonable way move into the water according to the government new policy on blue economy.
Dr. George Mugalu, I have personal relationship with him, boss to staff. And I know whenever I go to him, Oga, this is our problem in Lagos. He has a listening here, fantastic listening here. Oga, we always ask Sarah, what do you think we can do? Oga, we need ambulance. He will do it. Oga, we want to remove wrecks. They have been removing wrecks every year ever since he became the NIWA. They've been removing wrecks, they've been clearing water, I said.
With premium value placed on the safety of humans and cargo traversing Nigerian waters, the advocacy for compliance to safety standards and protocols of inland water transportation has also heightened. The agency now insists on the mandatory training and licensing of all boat operators, regular distribution of life jackets among coastal communities, and inspections of boats for the confiscation and destruction of substandard and expired life vests.
Before you enter into water, please make sure you are properly kitted. Our marshals, our police, everybody is enforcing it. Our marine staff is enforcing the wearing of life jackets before you are allowed to enter into the vessels. We have noticed that the issue of overloading the vessels has become a recurring decimal. It has been the cause of a good number of the accidents that have happened. Vessels that are supposed to carry 20, 30 persons, you find them loading up to 50, 100. We try to educate our people to play with them, rather than overloading these vessels and then go and dump people in the middle of the water. Why don't we go 2, 3 times? And everybody will be safe, everybody will be okay. Please obey protocols. If we say don't move after 6 p.m., please don't move. If we say wear your life jacket, it is in your interest. If we say this vessel should not operate because it is not certified to be okay, please don't use it. Because if you try to use it, what you are calling for is danger. You are calling for calamity, you are calling for destruction. And these things are not right. As an organization also, we identify the fact that there is need for us to put up search and rescue stations. We are projecting to do the 23 for the 23 area offices, but as we speak, we have completed 11, and they're all functional. We have procured and distributed some ambulances, water ambulance. As we speak, about 8 water ambulances have been distributed to various area offices to be put into use in case of emergency. We intend to get more. So, but it's a consequence of, as the resources are available, we keep deploying them so that we can make sure that we make our waterways all year round navigable and safely protected. We don't want to lose any life. So we'll do everything we can except where it becomes inevitable.
To reduce downtime of NIWA crafts and equipment, lower operational costs, generate revenue while encouraging in-country repairs and fabrication of various machineries, Moghalu also revamped the workshops at Warri and Lokoja dockyards. Over 20 dilapidated machines sitting in the workshops built in the 1950s have been revived. New barges and an assortment of machineries have successfully been fabricated and boats fixed in the dockyards.
All the workshop staffs were sent to the training at the beginning of this year, and there is also a schedule for another training that is coming up. In case of any repairs that comes up, in case of the fabrication of new boats that we launch into water, and then in case of barges that normally carry luggages, we can do that fabrications here, and we align it to the standards.
The inland water channels are critical to safe navigation. Understanding this, Chief Dr. Moghalu and his team has through the years deployed the hydrography department back to the state-of-the-art equipment and vessels during surveys, mappings, chartings, and the regular maintenance sweep of the channel.
The Department of Survey has actually assumed its potential as the bedrock of NIWA since the assumption of the Managing Director, Dr. George Moghalu, because he has really made the survey department feel the current status as one of the best equipped survey department in hydrography in the entire country, Nigeria. We have a geolab. Geolab in full is geoinformatics lab, where we have all the state-of-the-art survey equipment that are able to do whatever function any hydrographic survey company will do in the world.
We have 2 modern world-class survey vessels as we speak, And what did we do? We got our survey department, we deployed it. Not too long ago, we had a collaborative relationship with the Navy Hydrographic Office. And then we partnered together to do the survey for the Sea Link project. So we've done quite a lot in terms of surveying and having our charts produced and printed in Nigeria. Unlike before, where charts have to be sent overseas to Ghana, now we can print our charts in Nigeria.
The idea of collaboration between NIWA and Nigerian Navy is very interesting. That led to the charting of the River Niger up to Onitsha and so on. I found it very interesting as a document that will not only aid navigation, that other investors in the sector will also benefit from. I found that to be very enriching, very rewarding, very collaborative, and the kind of support that NIWA gave Nigerian Navy in having that chart done.
Interstate barge operations have begun. Stored contracts for the construction of river ports and jetties were resuscitated in the last 4 years, and a high point for Team NIWA was the completion of Onitsha and Barrow River ports. Following a public-private partnership arrangement, Onitsha Port was concessioned and is now run by a private operator. Operational ports and jetties run in tandem with provisions of the International Ship and Port Facility Security ISPS Code.
All our jetties and ports, it is our responsibility to ensure that the place is safe and secured. We are implementing the ISPS code to the letter. The ISPS code primarily is to ensure that vessels coming in and going out do not pose a threat to the surrounding facilities. We now train our staffs along with the Marine Department to ensure that any vessel that comes there, either to drop passengers or cargo, complies with the ISPS code.
In all, the welfare of the staff and reward for outstanding personnel have not taken the back seat. While workers are encouraged and reinvigorated with incentives, Moghalu, determined to prioritize the health and well-being of his team, has beefed up the medical facility available to the staff of the agency.
Since the time when our managing director in person of George Moghalu assumed duty, the department concentrate more on staff development, capacity building. Staff have been trained and retrained for them to achieve their responsibility. You know, because when he came in, the first thing he said we should do is for us to start thinking outside the box. Because if we continue to remain under the government sponsorship, we will not achieve the purpose for which the authority is established. And for us to achieve that, we must concentrate on training. We did a kind of training on 5-year impact development plan organized by Nakachi Consultant. We have worked on that and we started getting information of all the activities that NIWA will do in the next 5 years. This will enable us to assess where we are in the first year, second year, third year, up to the year we have projected. And this is also in line with what the government is also doing.
For the National Inland Waterways Authority, the commitment is to make Nigeria the leader in inland water transportation, development and management in Africa, as demonstrated through the robust achievements of Dr. Moghalu in the last 4 years.
I am somebody who is very conscious of the judgment of history. Very conscious of that. And as such, I try to do my best in any situation I find myself so that I can be remembered on a positive note.